how would you like to achieve your first million? And today we have Merage, so which is a marketing agency. Merage, tell us, what are the 5 steps to make your first million?
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
Hi, Harry. First of all, thanks for the opportunity. And I will answer your question in a very brief way. The first thing is have a good idea. It doesn't need to be extraordinary. It just needs to be good, because the matter for the first million is actually the execution. You need to be very urgent in your everyday life, in your everyday tasks, but very patient for the long-term results. You can't expect to make the first million in the first month, but I can guarantee you within 10 years, you will have 1 million aside. It doesn't matter what the business is about, at least 1 million after 10 years.
Okay, that's step number 1. Yeah, and then what would be the step number 2?
Step number 2 is be very cautious about your finances, because the money, the cash flow is the oxygen. It can't breathe if it is all built on debt. And very interestingly, a startup accelerator in the US, in Silicon Valley, has helped many companies to build up. And they said money was never the issue if a company got successful or not. It was never the funding. It was all the execution and how the managers could optimize the cash flow. So second is definitely the cash flow. Third is, once you have enough clients, enough business to get things running for the everyday life, then focus on building your brand. Because no salesman will perform if there is no lead funnel in it, if no branding is done. Create the setup so that the salesman has enough things to do. And then, of course, find the right salesperson. And in many occasions, I gotta admit, female salespersons are often way better, especially in the IT and marketing industry. I don't know why, but they can get it sold way better and faster.
And then what would be the step number 3?
Step number 3 is find the process optimization that will get things that might get you stuck out of your way. Because, as I said, the execution makes the difference, actually. It doesn't matter if you're a plumber or in the AI tech industry. It's always things get in your way. You need to unstuck your business, and that needs your eye on it as a business owner. You need to find a process and a solution, hire someone new or outsource something. There's always something that gets you stuck, and get this out of your way.
Very good. And what would be the 4th one?
The 4th one is actually try to find someone who can manage your business, not 100% as you do, but at least 70, 80% as you do. Give them a share, and then let that person take over. Then you have a profitable, at least 8-figure company that you could sell.
Yeah. And the last one?
That's it. Because you already made your million.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter. At this point, nowadays, where so many people lack of responsibility and acknowledging their strengths and weaknesses, it's so easy, if you're persistent and patient, to make good money in the Western countries.
Yeah. And then why do you decide to become an entrepreneur?
I became an entrepreneur by accident. Actually, my first idea was to go a safe route, because I saw so many of my relatives being business owners, more risky than really profitable as they did. So I thought I need an MBA. I need to go to McKinsey, then go to Google, because Google is a safe route. It's one of the few tech companies that are there since the 90s, and they will always find a solution how to get stay relevant for the audience. That was my thought at that time. But luckily, once I entered the business school, I realized I need something more hands-on. I want to be a decision maker. I love to take responsibility, not like most of my college friends, or when I did a lot of internships, I realized many people don't want to take responsibility. Once you are willing to do that, that is a little more risk for your life, but the outcome is way worth it, way more worth it.
Absolutely.
So let's go into it. Let's become an entrepreneur.
And then why do you choose marketing then?
At first, I didn't choose it because one of my internships when I was 15, 16, I was in a marketing agency, in a very large one. I didn't like it. I love the creative process, but if you're an internee, you are not allowed to do the big decisions, right? That's why my perspective was wrong on it. I said, I don't want to be the guy who's all day in front of Photoshop and coding the website, because I would like to talk with the client and realize his potential, maximize his potentials. So when I was still in college, I found a very good opportunity. It was a donut shop. At that time, Dunkin' Donuts was the only offer we had in Germany for donuts, and they were only in Berlin. They were only in Berlin, not in Hamburg. So every time I went to Berlin, people texted me like, hey, if you come back to Hamburg, could you bring a lot of donuts? Like 6, a dozen, 2 dozens. And in the end, every time I came back from Berlin, I had 2, 3 dozens of donuts. And one day I passed by a small donut shop in Hamburg, close to the university, and no one was aware of it. That got me thinking, what is the reason? It is marketing. Why don't people know that their donuts are even better? And it's in the same city. You don't need to go to Berlin or beg someone who comes back from Berlin, hey, please bring me some donuts. That got me the opportunity to talk with them, and I helped them to turn this into a franchise system. I was the first franchise owner of the first, was the first franchisee. And yeah, that forced me into the world of entrepreneurship.
Yeah. So what are the benefits to have a franchise? The difference to have a franchise, right? To have your own business from scratch.
Yeah. So
It's better to have a franchise?
if you start opening a franchise, the first thing is definitely make the right choice. I don't want to drop any names, but we are all aware of certain international franchise companies that are not so, that don't have the good reputation among the franchisees. Some others are certainly way better, but the entrance fee is way higher. But we don't always need necessarily to think of only food. There are different franchises, franchise concepts, like real estate agents. What's that called? The school after school? Tuition franchises.
Yeah, could be. Yeah.
Yeah. So there are different concepts in the franchise world. Also for pet food, we have a big franchise company in Germany, and that is concentrating on pet food, pet supplies, and it's more profitable than McDonald's in Germany, and people are not aware of that.
Wow. Wow.
So this is the first thing: make the right choice. The second thing is, if you make the right choice, be aware that never get arrogant. It's not you solely that it makes your franchise company so successful. It is the franchise owner. They are so good at marketing. That pet supply company is doing a lot for marketing, outreach, but also their loyalty program is the reason that pet owners come over and over again to that pet supplier.
Yeah. So what advice do you have for people that want to turn their own business into a franchise?
That is a very quick opportunity to multiply your business. in a very short term of time. But I would love more franchisors to think of this as a great opportunity for their franchisees as well. Not only think of their own money, but also to make it worth a living for their franchisees, to be a lot more fair. If you take this responsibility, then you will supply every one of them with very good SOPs, very detailed, great trainings. And third, you really invest into marketing, not only for the whole brand, but also for each individual franchisee. Then you won't make that much money in short term as other competitors might do. But in the long term, you will be way more successful because you have loyal franchisees and the numbers will speak for themselves, because many others will switch over to your franchise when they see that your franchisees are making way more money than in other systems.
So tell us about your journey. So how do you find your first client, and what was the beginnings of when you start your journey as an entrepreneur?
That was also more by accident. So if I would teach someone who was similar like me, but is now younger, I would definitely say, first of all, if you want to start a new business, learn from someone, work with someone who is already there. Rather be a free intern than starting with no idea, no experience by yourself. This will take 5, 6, 7 years until you get to a point. If you just started as an intern with a good entrepreneur, you might be there already in 18 months.
Wow. Yeah. So, and what was one of the biggest challenges of your business, and how you overcome that challenge?
One thing happened to me 3 times, and that is the choice of business partners. All 3 times, it was a very bad pick because it started by believing the hopes they sold me. I should have judged them and audited them by their action, not by their words. So rather take your time way longer if you are thinking of having a business partner. Secondly, audit them by asking their friends and other business partners, because if someone is not paying their marketers, their suppliers on time regularly, this speaks about character or the lack of character rather than being a good business partner. Because I'm married. I'm married for 8 years, but in my opinion, it was way easier to find the right wife than finding the right business partners, because making money changes so many person. The people change. Suddenly, once we make 7 figures, mid 7 figures a year, they turned on me. And the difference is, I bring in the talent. I'm the coder, I'm the graphic designer and marketer. I was building the brand and the sales processes. And most commonly, they were the salesperson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And let's face it, is Nike so big of a brand because of the salesperson? Or is it because they built on marketing, branding, storytelling? So this always happened, and it was huge pain. And unfortunately, this always happened when I was expecting my next kid, my next daughter.
Oh, wow.
So I always had the trouble on both sides. Like, they were smelling that at this time it would be a great timing for them to attack me. Even if you're right, it's such a big pain with all those legal things. So I choose nowadays rather not to have any business partners anymore in the company. Then only project-wise, we're gonna open up limited that's only for one project, and then we see. And until today, I haven't found anyone that I could do 3 projects with. Maybe if it works out 3 projects, then I might ask him, come on, let's start a joint venture, or just, yeah, like a fusion of the companies.
Yeah, I think that finding a strategic partners, someone that have your same client base and they don't compete with you, could be something that's beneficial for the business, but it has to be this one, an strategic partner what that create a win-win situations. So, so
Have
you
you
should,
found a good business partner?
yeah, say again.
Have you found a good business partner?
Oh, I have good business partner. This is a good question, actually. I have, well, I think my girlfriend, she's my partner in life, and she's a great business partner. Honestly, uh, the best, the multimillionaires that I know, people that know me, they always telling me, Harry, Lily is your best asset. You see, my girlfriend. So I think that yeah, sometimes, but it depends. It's exactly what you say, right? You have to see what people are able to do, yeah, because same like you, I have a lot of negative experience, yeah, in that space with other business partners, and it's difficult to articulate this win-win situation when exactly what you said, because when you're growing, uh, people change. At the beginning, is a lot of excitement, but I think as the results comes and you start to evaluate who's putting more energy and who's bringing the result, then then the relationship tends to break. Yeah, no, and no. So unless that you find someone that is generally in love with your mission, your vision, your possibility, and want to support you and believe in you, it's gonna be difficult, because we entrepreneurs, we have this ego, right? And I think when ego goes in the way, then it's where all the partnerships break. So it has to. You don't need to be better than anyone. You just need to build something amazing together. And I think ego is a big part of it. So, your opinion, um, what do you think that the role that ego plays when to create to break the relationships and in partnerships?
100% true. And I also see a difference in those business partnerships between continents. I think in Europe it's a little harder than outside, at least from my perspective, what I see with my relatives and other friends in other countries. Because if that business doesn't work, they don't see it as personal usually. In Europe, especially in Germany, it feels like they always take it personally. So that's one thing. And the second thing is, both Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett often repeat themselves, pointing out that nowadays we have so many business opportunities. It's hard, but we need to learn to say no. Our biggest return on investment is saying no as often as possible, and that's 100% true.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest the biggest skill that you can have is not only with the partners, is with everyone that you bring to organization, is is to hide them, just not even because of the skills, but because of the values. If the values that they have match your values, it's gonna be a great contribution to the company. So, what are the steps, Merage, that now that you do to assess and bring new business partner? I think that this is the right thing that you said, that you give it a project, and then after we try to do one more. So what else are you looking for when new partners arrive?
It's very good what you've pointed out. So it's the same in the hiring procedures. We also say more often hire for attitude, train skills. I 100% agree to it, especially in the digital marketing industry, because the skill you've obtained 2 years ago is worth nothing nowadays if you don't, you know. 6 years ago, Facebook was still relevant in a different way. Now it becomes relevant again, but it's about videos, so it's not what you've learned 6 years ago. What we are now processing also among clients, because luckily we're in the position that we have more leads coming in and more people interested in our services than we can actually accept. That turns us into being more picky. And there is something that we've learned from game theory, and there are many scientists who have done experiments and got to the same conclusion all over the world. So game theory is luckily a science where many globally are working together. And they said one particularly thing is you will be more successful as an individual or as a business if you give more than you take, and you have a 2 or 3 chances rule. That means the others may take more from you 1 time, 2 time, and if they took more 3 times, then just remove them out of your network. Just do small steps. So usually when we get new clients, we also start with smaller contracts, 1 service, not 5 services at the same time, not holistic packages. We're just gonna show them, look, we have proven you, we get results for you. Are you willing to go for the next step? So this is the first thing, baby steps. And the next thing is, in the game theory, it says tit for tat is the best solution. But now here comes, not only the 2-3 chances is important, but we as a human species evolve once we communicate about who got out of our network and who is good. This only works if you recognize the good people, good intentions, good skills in your network, and work together with them. You don't necessarily need to make business together, but at least communicate, look, this supplier is cheating on me, so there is a big chance that he might do it as well with you. Or, look, this is a great talent, but he's so unreliable, undisciplined, so maybe he will be the same with you. So at least we warn each other right now. It's not many people in our network, because try to find people who are honest, reliable, and full of skills. It's hard, but the ones we found, we exchange each other. And not many people are aware of this, that we exchange these ideas. So we had a few of the talents who brought bad experiences with a friend of mine, and he immediately called me, Merage, I fired him, just be aware of him. 2 weeks later, he applied with us. And so he was very good in the application process and in the interview. But of course, I tried to find that spot within his mask. And once I found a question, yeah, I could see through the mask. I found his true face.
And I think that and this is important, because sometimes, you need to bring into your organization the right client. You don't want this client that it will take 80% of your time, always complaining, always demanding, never happy. Yeah. Have you ever had this type of client that they are never happy? It doesn't matter what you do, and it's consuming of your energy, that you were better off don't having it. So how you can avoid to exactly like you said, to trying to find the ideal client for you, and to say no when it's not suitable?
Very good question. We had this a lot. The reason is there might be a reason that client is constantly jumping from one agency to another. Why is he always switching the agencies? Of course, in the digital marketing industries, there are many people who are not really competent, but just good salespeople. So they sell you a hope, a promise, but they can't deliver. There are many of them. But yet, if a client is switching too often, then you also have to recognize maybe he is doing something wrong. Like his product might be not good or his service might not be good. Second, maybe if we deliver on marketing, their sales team is not good. That could happen as well. Not that the sales team can't sell. Often it's just a lack of avoiding getting a no. And I don't know how these kind of people become salespeople, but there are many of them who are in the sales position and they just don't want to get a no, don't want to get rejected. And then lastly, we are also checking out in our network, like, is this a good person? Are they paying on time? I don't know why, but in Germany, it's a huge issue right now. People are not paying on time. We get payments on time from our Swiss clients, from our Polish clients, but German clients are paying way later than other clients. That's why we have different systems right now. Like, please type in your credit card infos so that we can get the money on time, because Germans are also not used to have credit cards. The businesses usually don't have credit cards. So yeah, there are many challenges that we try to find the solution for. It's what I've mentioned initially: unstuck your business. So whatever comes repeatedly in your way, try to find a systematic solution to it. Don't always try to solve it just for the now. Try to find a systematic solution.
Then, Merage, can you share with us what is working? Because you touched a point which is really important. The digital marketing space is really dynamic. It changes all the time. So one thing works last year, it doesn't work anymore this year. So what are the things that are working now for business in general in the digital marketing space?
That is a good question, and I would love to give you a brief answer, but nowadays it's a little more complex than it used to 1 year or 2 years ago. Digital marketing and the whole tech industry moved so fast before that we could always see that one thing being more successful than others. Like, it used to be MSN and MySpace, then came Facebook along, and the whole market was homogeneous. We all jumped onto the next thing. After Facebook, it was Instagram. Snapchat was in between, if you remember, where people thought like it's the death of Instagram. But Mark Zuckerberg was pretty fast in applying the stories feature into his platforms. And yeah, so we always jump from one trend to another. But to be honest, since TikTok and the application of changes in their algorithm and the adaptation of Zuckerberg, YouTube, I don't know who, I think every platform has short form video content right now. We currently gotta say that we need to find holistic approaches, systematic approaches to bring in the results that you are that you are aiming for. The reason is their algorithms change so fast. 1 year ago, many people would still tell you the best way to make quick profit is finding the right keywords on Google, put Google ads on it, maybe SEO if you can wait 4, 5, 6 months to get on page 1. But let's be honest, Gen Z is not using Google anymore. If you would start now a poll among Gen Z decision makers in their private time, how often do they use Google compared to TikTok for answers? Use Perplexity, ChatGPT for answers? Who is still using Google? So that already changed dramatically, suddenly. And I know many TikTok content creators that have 1 million, 2 million followers on that platform, can't even reach 10,000 people on the videos because the algorithm changed so often. And you can see it all over the place. The only few things that work are the Champions League platforms is email marketing. You need to be constantly updating yourself. It's worth it. The challenge is just building up your email followers, subscribers. And the next thing is YouTube. Since the beginning of YouTube, YouTube was always one of the biggest search engines, one of the biggest entertainment platforms. And I think the study was just currently 5 or 6 months ago. YouTube is the number one media source that US Americans are consuming on their TV. It's not Netflix, it's not TV channels, it's YouTube right now. So since the beginnings, it was always YouTube. But it's also very hard to create a content, theme, topic, format that works and building up your subscribers. So the harder it is to build the subscription base, the more valuable it is. It seems like that, at least.
Yes. So then the other question, Merage, if people are in love with our conversation, yeah, how people can find you, how this process work?
So I am very active on LinkedIn, Instagram, and TikTok. On TikTok, I share every single day a short form video about new strategic approaches about marketing, because I don't want to give you a fish. I just would rather teach you how to fish and give you the equipment. And on LinkedIn, I do it in text form. So yeah, people can follow me on Instagram by I am Merage, IMMERAG. And if you like what you see there on TikTok or Instagram, then let's work together.
So which industry you prefer to work, or which industry your client mostly come from?
I don't have a clear share of any industry. The reason is I love
Which ones are
biggest
your favorite?
I love biggest challenges. Come to me if your agencies failed with you, or if you want to have a positioning or content format that is unique. Because once street interviews were popular on TikTok, every brand did it. And if you don't want to be part of a hype and then lose your revenue and grip after that interview format is dead, come to me. I will find formats that is very unique to your brand and will work on the long term and build brand value.
Wow, that's really powerful. So building brand value is really important, because at the end of the day, when you sell your product, when you sell your company, you're selling your brand. So what tips do you have that entrepreneurs should be doing in the social media in general to increase the brand value?
First move, still nowadays, even though it was a trend 3-4 years ago already, it's still very important, is building a personal brand, because no one is standing more for your business than you as a character. You and your personality is nearly one. Show me the business owner, and I know how chaotic or how organized the business will be. It's always like one pair. This is the first thing. The second thing is we still need to build up a business brand at the same time. It shouldn't be one-to-one, because then you can't sell it without selling yourself with it, with the business. So we need to work on both. And the good thing is nowadays, especially through Instagram and TikTok, we have a very professional young generation that is used to create content. That means you could create a lot of EGC, Have you ever heard of EGC?
No.
This is something that we have applied 2 years ago, and at that time it wasn't a part of a trend. As I said, I love to find unique solutions. Everyone was still using UGC, user-generated content. So they tried to apply a campaign with hashtag and asking clients to create content or hire people to create content and then pretend to be clients so that it looks more authentic. Now it's EGC, employee generated content. So everyone who is hired in your company is also a different type of character. So you might resonate with business owners more because you are the business owner, but your HR will resonate more with other HR decision makers, right? So find the person who is most authentic and close to your target group within your company. Currently we have one big client that is offering corporate health benefits. So it's should I explain it? Yeah, it's
Yes.
bringing in some corporate benefits to the employees with companies so that the loyalty to the employer becomes bigger. Because if you switch the jobs, you will lose all the benefits.
Wow.
401k, extra parking spaces, cars, insurances, etc., etc.
Wow.
So for them, it was very unique. I told them we shouldn't start a content format solely by the founder, but also with your own HR. Because if your head of HR makes good content, we make her famous. It will resonate with all the decision makers in the HR departments who are looking for those kind of benefits. Will find this more resonating than if the founder does it, right? And
Absolutely.
if we work both ways, the founder and the HR department, then the HR department will love the content, love the concept behind those corporate health benefits. And if she needs more budget for those corporate health benefits, the founder will find the content of the founder resonating of the corporate health provider. So both will be happy, right? So this is the multi approach we are currently doing.
Yeah, and I think it's wonderful because it's amplified the way that that is in the end of the day is put a creative content out there, but the most exposure you have, the better. And different people resonate with different things. The other thing is that different people want to perceive the content in different way. Some people prefer to read, some people prefer video, some people prefer to receive an email. So and then what message do you have for the entrepreneurs? That what social media channels they should be engaging, because there are lots of them.
Also, a very good question. This depends not only on what platform is successful, in trend, in hype right now. It depends on you as a person. If you want to create content, it shouldn't be a blocker because, as I said, we should remove always the things that get us stuck. As an entrepreneur, just as I am, it's already time consuming to run the business. Also, maybe you are still very valuable as a specialized, skilled worker, run the family. Now, on top comes content creation, right? You need to find that format that is not consuming your energy, rather gives you energy. Like you doing that podcast. This is maybe the best format for you because you love to talk with people, exchange ideas, and network. Then this is one of the best ways you could work on. It wouldn't help if you would be an author for Forbes because maybe it gets you stuck. You can't find the right ideas. You can't write 2,000 words essays for Business Insider or whatsoever. So, but other persons are maybe introverts, shy. Try to force that person to get in front of the camera and talk in front of the camera, or maybe send him on stage and tell that person to speak in front of 1,000 people. It won't work. It won't work successfully. So it depends on what gives you energy, because if it gives you energy, you can be consistent. And as everything in life, practice matters. Consistency is the way how you can practice as often to become perfect. So yeah.
That's amazing. So thank you so much for being in the podcast. I really appreciate it. And for this information shared with us is really valuable. Well done. And for us, for some of you listening, see you in our next episode of Unstoppable, how brave entrepreneurs like Merage break that wall and achieve the first million. Bye for now.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.